On this week's Throwdown, we have magnanimous Mike and tantalizing Travis demo the workout.
Those are good ones.
Is that a word?
Tantalizing?
No, the first one.
Magnanimous? Yeah, it's like boisterous, loud, proud.
Is it?
Something like that.
I gotta check that. Let's check your dictionary.
We've got dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs.
We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But what about
Don't get it
Chili
confused.
Willy?
He's dead.
You didn't like it? No? You didn't like how it turned out?
Fucking 3 days of editing into it and then decided.
Hey, Chili Willy! How spicy is this workout? It's very spicy!
This week's Throwdown for time, 75 alternating dumbbell snatches, 75 burpee box jump overs, 75 alternating dumbbell snatches.
To get on the TTT TD88 leaderboard, check the description below and post your score.
There you'll also find movement standards, a warm-up, and scaled versions of the workout.
If you're doing the workout, make sure you use this hashtag so we can repost you on our Instagram.
We got 2 weeks until the Open. I almost forgot what I was gonna say, but now I remember. As we get closer to the Open, take the details a little bit more seriously. So in the Open, if you're gonna be posting your score, you are going to need a judge. So if you can, practice having a judge. Practice filming yourself, turning your phone or your camera on airplane mode, and doing all of the professional details that you're gonna need to submit your score to get to the next level in the Open. Also, practice your weekly layout or start thinking about what that's gonna look like in the Open. It might be different if you're doing repeats, if you're doing it one time, if you're elite, RX, intermediate. You can think about that, or you can do it with us in the design in one of our training divisions.
Wow, that was, your Post-it note has 3 things on it, and you just went through 3 paragraphs. One of the questions we get all the time as coaches is, how should I eat during the Open? And the one and only Kyle Ruth and Becky Rogers talk about that during this week's podcast. Check it out.
This week we have Travis Mayer. He has a lot of kids and a lot of games appearances. We also have Mike Mcgoldrick. He has 1 kid and 1 games appearance. And here comes Max.
This is so awkward. This is so big.
That's almost 45 pounds.
This is a barbell. We're giving it away for anybody, to somebody, who posts in the comments, fuck.
No, we made it this far.
All right,
keep
finish
going.
it.
If we have, when we have 35,000 subscribers
Once
to
we
our
get-
YouTube channel, keep going.
To get submitted into that competition, post whether or not you wanted Mike or Travis to win this workout. We're gonna pick it at random once we get to 35K. Once we reach that 35,000 subscriber milestone, we'll use a random YouTube comment generator on one of these videos where we promoted the giveaway to draw a worldwide winner for that bar. So all you gotta do is be subscribed and comment below to enter.
Let's go see their strategies.
First up, we have Travis Mayer, 30 years old, standing at 5'11" tall and weighing 205 pounds. His 17.1 score was 11:34, and his best Randy time was 2:42.
The element that's gonna take the longest is the burpee box jump. It's just slow compared to the other movements. The biggest separation that I'll have over definitely Michael Mcgoldrick will be pretty much every movement in the workout. And then over the field, hopefully the dumbbell snatch, I can just kind of keep moving and keep it unbroken, and then the burpee box jump overs just stay smooth. My biggest strength and weakness in this would be strength. Just I can kind of endure and hang on for a long period of time and allow my back to just round and keep pulling the dumbbell, and then on the burpee box jump, just kind of get into a dark place and hang on. I don't have a weakness for this workout. My strategy for the dumbbell is just gonna be kind of try to hold both sets actually unbroken and then slow the movement speed down when I feel like my heart rate starts to pick up. And then for the burpee box jump overs, use the step down method after probably the first 15 to allow my legs to kind of get back together, and then try to jump again and then kind of alter between both of those. And then the last 75 dumbbell snatch, really just kind of hang on and grip it and rip it. I have 6 games jerseys, 7 counting demo team, which I don't. Yeah, and then here we are representing 2013, my first year, with old Michael Mcgoldrick.
And next up, we have Mike Mcgoldrick at 34 crispy years of age, 5 feet 11 inches, actually 5 feet 10 inches, 7/8, just saying. Weight 203 pounds. He's lighter than Travis Mayer right now. His 17.1 score is 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Kind of slow, gonna be honest. And we don't even know his Randy time. Last time I saw him do it, he did 15 and then quit.
The movement that's gonna take the longest is easily the Burpee Box Jump Overs. I mean, if you're averaging 15 a minute, which I feel like is a really fast pace, well, not really fast, but a good pace, I mean, that's 5 minutes alone right there, so that's gonna take the longest. So I would expect for me like 6-7 minutes on that piece. I think definitely the power snatch will give me the most separation value. It's only 17% of my 1 rep max snatch, so I'm pretty excited and confident in handling a 50-pound dumbbell. My biggest strength, again, is just going back to that snatch. I think it's you know, the CrossFit gods lobbed me a good one here, giving me a really low percentage of my 1 rep max snatch on this with the dumbbell. The weakness is just the fact that there's 150 reps here. No, 225. How many reps is there? Math is my biggest weakness. I'm gonna start off breaking up the dumbbells, probably like 30 to 35 reps, and then basically I'm just gonna keep doing as big a sets as I can, keeping my heart rate under control, because I don't wanna go into the Burpee Box Jump Overs like 2 red lines or anything. My goal there is to do like 10 to 15 reps at a pretty good speed, take a break, 10 to 15 reps, take a break, and just keep repeating that. Instead of looking at like long sets or like looking at entire rep scheme of like 75 reps you have to do, think of it as like doing little chunks just so I can focus on a little piece at a time. And then when I get back to the dumbbells for the second time, just grip and rip it. I got 6 from 1 year.
Mike had a couple shots of whiskey before that.
Were you guys drunk? Travis is just amped up. Look at him, he can't stop moving.
Oh, they're too slow.
3, 2, 1, 0.
So you can already see Travis moves faster than Mike.
It's gonna be spicy. Yeah, let's go.
And probably moves faster than everybody watching this video. So just take that into consideration as you're building your strategy.
But I think if you are closer to kind of like Mike's capacity, which is still very good, I mean, he's top 1 or 2% still in the sport, you probably need to pull back a little bit and not go all out in your first 75. So Travis is basically trying to keep like a 2-second per rep split here, which is super fast in the dumbbell. Mike knows that that's going to blow him up, so he's going to calm himself down, try to keep his heart rate low, like he said.
He's giggling.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike had like the optimal athlete focus during this.
He already asked me, am I there yet? That's what he just said. Yeah. I didn't smile, I just stared at him.
Yeah,
I think it's very impressive that Mike agreed to do this workout against Travis, because, I mean, obviously Travis is going to win, but I think Mike does a really good job on this workout.
Yeah.
If something like this came out, right, like this is obviously a 17.1 variation, then Mike's score is much more realistic to the field and trying to get in the top 10% than obviously Travis. He would be, you know, maybe top 100, 120 in the world in a workout like this.
Yeah, I mean, it really plays into understanding that elite athletes have an entire different way to strategize because they have the capacity to just go out fast and stay fast and keep moving the whole time. Their rest breaks are 3 to 5 seconds. They're always transitioning quickly. So the element of strategy becomes less and less as an elite athlete. But if you are somebody like Mike, you know, he already had a break in that power snatch. He's going smoother and more controlled. He probably can move his dumbbell as fast as Travis, but in the context of the workout, what that would have done to his burpee box jumps would have slowed him down. So it plays strategy plays a bigger element in that top 10% versus the top 0.01% when you see somebody like Trav going.
Yeah.
There's so much time to be lost on burpee box jump overs if you have to slow your pace down.
Yes.
Yeah, really the first set is just about getting through without losing a ton of time as far as the dumbbell snatches go so that you can execute the burpee box jumps to the best of your ability. The one thing I wanted to point out with Travis is you'll actually notice he's slowed his cadence down now.
Yeah.
This is something that a lot of elite athletes do well. They start out a little bit faster than they want to go, try to get ahead a little bit, you know, even if it's like a quarter of a second a rep faster for the first 25, which is what he told me he wanted to do beforehand, and then he'll settle in and then speed up the next set, which you'll see on the last 75 dumbbell snatches.
So 2:34 to finish 75, that's real impressive.
It's basically 2 seconds a rep.
To that point, that's actually something we have to train for elite athletes in the sport, because you go to like the run, swim, run from the games, they went out at a 5-minute mile pace. And if you go out and you pace too slow and you get so far behind the field, then you get to the swim and you get in way past, you're going to have to navigate through the water like a fish trying to pass people. So you do have to kind of plan to almost go fast and then throttle back and settle into a more sustainable pace.
So Mike was 20 seconds slower on the dumbbell snatches, which again, 251 is still a really good pace for the first 75, and I actually think that was a really good strategy. What you'll see here is just the cadence of the burpee box jumps slows down, and this is, again, where you can make up the most time if you're good at these.
Yeah, this strategy of jumping, almost pivoting on one foot, stepping off in a full rotation and going down, I think was not developed from 17.1, but where people really started refining it. The Open pushes people to learn more efficient strategies to move fast. So this is a good way to do it. I would advise not jumping off. I think it's just more stressful on the body and on the legs to jump off. There's Mike's
Dirty fool. Mike just lost 12 seconds in the workout.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Yeah. This is Mike.
That was his planned rest break.
Yeah. Mike optimally displaying what elite focus looks like.
So, not to spoil the workout, but we're not going to have time to talk about it at the end, so I want to talk about it now. Travis is, when I saw this, as Brandon said, it's a version of 17.1. I thought most people are going to be slower than 17.1 just because of that big chunk of burpees. Travis was actually faster. Can you speak to that? Like him compared to 2017, or is it a burpee endurance versus his maybe sprint pace isn't as high as the higher level, or higher level, but smaller athletes?
Most people are going to be slower based on the format of 75 in a row of a movement are going to get slower than when it was split up into five sets of 15. I think Travis is just a lot more fit, and he's just really dialed in right now. So his endurance, in a chipper format versus a 5-rounder is probably one of the best in the sport. Like, he can do, huge sets of wall balls, huge sets of thrusters. Generally, burpee speed is not his optimal skill, but this doesn't require you to be at full speed. It just requires consistent movement. So I think it's just a combination of the test being, something that's challenging from an endurance perspective, and the fact that he's just firing on all cylinders and really fit right now.
He does a really good job of just making every rep look the same, and he sustains it until the end. There are maybe 3 reps where he doesn't get on the ground quite as fast, but this is really impressive. I know for me with burpee box jump overs, that does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive too in the context of watching them side by side. Like, we made this, it's a versus workout, but we knew who was going to win the workout when it started. But like Brandon said, Mike is really, really fit and good at CrossFit, and it just shows the discrepancy of what it takes to be elite work capacity versus like top 10%, or even Mike might be top 1% or top 3% of work capacity. They could probably finish top 1,000 in the world. But it's just a whole different level of animal.
Yeah, I think that speaks to those that are trying to get to Travis's level. A lot of people go online and talk about, well, look how the separation between, like, say, Frazier over the last couple of years and everyone else, but even more so the difference between all the games athletes and then even those bubble athletes. It's minutes in workouts like this, and minutes in a 10-minute workout is insane. I mean, you're talking about 15, 20, even 25% better at a workout like this, which is crazy.
Yeah, so this is there have been 2 reps where Travis kind of changed his cadence. He jumped off, took a little, maybe like a half a second breath on the opposite side of the box. So this is the first time where you see him, quote unquote, breaking down in movement. His movement when it's broken down looks like my movement when I'm firing on all cylinders, but it just shows, it happens to everyone, and how you manage it at that point, I think, is how you execute overall in a workout.
He started at 4 seconds per rep, which, again, is in a workout where there's 75, is about where a world-class anybody at burpee box jumps, maybe a little bit smaller athletes like 3.75, 3.8, that's where someone would win this workout. And then he slows down to 4.6 seconds per rep. So there is a little bit of deterioration, but again, when you're 202 pounds and 6 feet, it's a lot harder.
208 right now.
208, thick, but he's freaking strong.
I'm going to address this before the internet attacks him. I don't think his shorts fit him anymore. This is from 2013, and he's just fidgeting a lot.
It gets uncomfortable.
They don't really, they just like give you your clothes and you gotta wear them.
Yeah.
There's like, if you don't have a normal standard fit and you're 5'5" at the CrossFit Games, I feel like
past your
your
knees.
shorts are going to be at the middle of your thigh.
Oh man.
So Mike has this interesting, like one hand, other hand, one foot, other foot down technique.
Yeah.
That's the Joey Sweck
I
technique.
hate it because he's beaten me in workouts doing that. And I'm like, how do you do that? But it works. It allows him to keep moving.
Yeah. What were Mike's burpee paces?
So, yeah, Mike started at 5.4 seconds per rep. Now, that's deceiving. The way that we calculate this out is basically the total time of the first 25 and the next 25. So his actual reps per second were a little bit faster, maybe 4.5, 4.6, but he was taking those breaks. But that also plays into it, right? Like Travis didn't have to take any breaks. This is his longest one, whereas most of us may do 15 reps, take a break, and then 15. So you got to think about your movement speed in that way as well.
So that set of 75 burpee box jumps took Travis, how long? It looked like a little
5.5
bit.
minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, and then it was a 12-second transition. So basically, there has not really been any rest in the workout
Right.
for Travis other than that one transition. So an elite athlete watching this trying to beat it, a shorter athlete obviously would have faster range of motion on the dumbbell, which would change a little bit, maybe a little bit faster on the burpees, and then that 12-second transition. So you might be able to go a little bit faster than this at the elite level, but
Well, it's, obviously it's a lot easier once you have a score. So there'll be a couple people that if the elite guys, if they see this, are like, okay, I can beat, his total score just because I can sprint at the end. But with that said, the one thing I told Travis after just watching him was that 12-second transition. That's really the only thing for him that he needs to clean up. Obviously, his burpee pace could improve, but at his size, there are not many guys in the world that are going to be faster than him at 75 burpee box
Yeah.
jumps.
Mike's still going.
yeah, still chipping away. So, really at this point, I think his burpee box jump cadence and pace is pretty good. It's just that he doesn't do big sets and he takes rest transitions in them.
Yeah,
it's
so-
not necessarily bad. It's just
He started with 10s, so he would do 10 and then take about a 5 to 7 second break, 10, and then once he got, I think, probably around 40 or 50 reps, that's when he started doing sets of 5, and that's what I told him. I was like, all right, if you're gonna do sets of 5, shorten your break. So that's another thing that you guys at home can start thinking about. If you break it down into like sets of 5 or 3 or 4, whatever you have to do, then keep the rest breaks a little bit shorter and try to move a little bit with more intention when you're doing the rep.
yeah. Something to think about too. Mike, I think, is using his right arm, right elbow on his knee in each one of those step down techniques. So now it's just finished as I was about to say that. But if you are thinking about just longevity in the sport, he's had a lot of it, but those little things over time I feel like create wear and tear patterns. So if you can switch it up in your training so you're not always doing it in the same capacity every time and kind of ingraining, one side of your body to be, asymmetrical versus the other.
Brandon, what was Mike's 17.1 score?
So his 17.1 score was 13 minutes and 40 seconds. So he's going to have to battle here if he wants to beat that. Travis's was 11:34, and I think
We're getting
he
close
may
to
beat
that.
that. Obviously, he keeps it unbroken. And a couple of notes here: the standard is the same as 17.1. Both heads have to touch the ground, so make sure you do that.
And you can switch the dumbbell wherever.
Over your head, yeah. Mike's doing a really good job of keeping his cadence fast. And that's one of the things he said before the workout is like, I know I'm going to have to break on the dumbbells, especially in the second round, so I want to keep him fast. He does a pretty good job here.
So 11:11 was Mike's last break. Oh, Travis finished. What was that, 11:16? So faster than 17.1. That's really impressive, but
Yeah.
I guess it gives people a context for if you did do this workout in 2017, set a target for trying to beat your score. Even though I think it is hard, this is a harder version of the workout to PR.
It's definitely
Yeah,
harder,
I
but for
agree.
smaller females and males that are just really fast on burpees, they'll be able to beat 11:16. But over the course of, saying 4 years and Travis doing this straight through, it's super impressive that he was able to speed up and actually beat his last time.
And that was the first time we ever saw a dumbbell snatch
Yeah.
in the qualifier, so
Yeah,
I'm sure.
150 to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome.
I remember my first attempt, I put the dumbbell down every time, and I got so sore. And then the second attempt, I learned how to switch it, went 2.5 minutes faster, and wasn't sore. Like, it's just so
Were you
different.
here? You weren't
No.
here yet, right? The glory days.
This is where his breaks start to
dark
get
days.
a little bit longer. And one of the things he said he would have sped up. He said his low back was blown up a little bit, probably just from not doing a ton of dumbbell snatches recently. I know he's been taking care of his hip, which has been bothering him. So, again, you're going to have to break up. But I think that if you start breaking into like sets of 10 or 12 on these, then keep your rest breaks a little bit shorter. Watch the clock or have your judge tell you, get back on it.
Yeah, something technically too. If Mike's back is blowing up, and Travis said it beforehand. If you're somebody who's really good at pulling in flexion, with both of them they're really powerful deadlifters, and both of them can pull with their back set in a little bit of a rounded position. If you are like that and your back starts to blow up, if you can distribute some of the force to your legs, and as you're going down actually knee bend, it can take some of that stress off. Your legs are generally blown up from doing 75 burpee box jumps. So it's a difficult thing to do, but you can even see how Mike is doing this. There's not much knee bend, and his head is basically below his hips. So it would make sense that your back is gonna start to get tight in that position when you're breathing hard and going that fast.
So he started with sets of 15, and then I think he did a set of 5 or 10 here, and then he'll finish with a set of 15, which is super impressive to finish.
We should also note that Mike is lighter than Travis right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
I've heard Mike say that this workout in 2017 was really hard on him, the combination of the hinge and the burpee box jump over. I was really impressed with what he did in this workout, how close his score was to 17.1.
And that he accepted the challenge.
Yeah, that too. I would have said no.
But I guess he's got to get ready for the
You
Open.
would have said no.
I haven't done a Metcon in 8 months.
I did a workout with Travis 2 weeks ago, and I'm still sore from it, so I'm not. All right, so again, this is his last set. He was doing sets of 5 or 10. Now he buckles down and does a set of 15 to finich.
Yeah, and his eyes were closed for half of it.
I've
done a lot of open workouts with my eyes closed, just sleeping.
So 14-13 for Mike, and it was 13-40 for 17.1.
Very good job in the workout. Really crappy handshake where they both dismiss each other's hands. Good job, guys. Project Pat, do your thing.
You're gonna ruin it that far? Man, this thing is heavy. I thought I'd be able to walk with it like this, and then I hit the wall, and I was like, fuck, I can't back out now.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.